The Library of Alexandria, a name synonymous with knowledge, wisdom, and the pursuit of understanding. But what really happened to this ancient repository of human thought? Its destruction remains one of history's great mysteries, shrouded in speculation and conflicting accounts. Founded in the 3rd century BC by Ptolemy the Soter, a general under Alexander the Great, the library was intended to be a universal library, collecting all the world's knowledge. It housed hundreds of thousands of scrolls, encompassing literature, science, philosophy, and history. Imagine the intellectual ferment. This was a place where Greek philosophers debated with Egyptian priests, where mathematicians developed groundbreaking theories, and where historians recorded the rise and fall of empires. Eratosthenes, the chief librarian in the 3rd century BC, even calculated the circumference of the Earth with remarkable accuracy using geometry and the sun's shadow. This highlights the kind of groundbreaking work that happened in Alexandria. The first potential blow to the library came during Julius Caesar's Alexandrian War in 48 BC. Roman forces were fighting to install Cleopatra on the throne. Historical accounts suggest that Caesar set fire to ships in the harbor, and the fire spread to parts of the city. Some historians claim that this fire destroyed a significant portion of the library's collection. However, other sources suggest that the damage was limited to warehouses near the harbor, and that the main library survived. What's more likely is that a portion of the library's collection, possibly stored near the harbor, was destroyed, while the main institution continued to function. A smaller library, the Serapeum, may have served as a replacement or supplement after this event. The rise of Christianity in the Roman Empire brought new tensions to Alexandria. Pagan temples and institutions, including the Serapeum, faced increasing pressure. In 391 AD, Emperor Theodosius III authorized the destruction of pagan temples in Alexandria. Theophilus, the Patriarch of Alexandria, led a mob that destroyed the Serapeum. While the Serapeum was not the original Great Library, it likely held a significant collection of books and scrolls. This event is often cited as another major blow to the intellectual heritage of Alexandria. But, again, this was the Serapeum, and not the Great Library from centuries earlier. Another theory often floated is that the library was destroyed during the Arab conquest of Egypt in 642 AD. According to a story recounted centuries later, Caliph Omar ordered the library's books to be burned, declaring that if they agreed with the Quran, they were unnecessary, and if they disagreed, they were harmful. However, this story is considered highly dubious by many historians. The account only appears centuries after the event, and there is no contemporary evidence to support it. Moreover, the Arabs, known for their appreciation of knowledge and learning, were more likely to have preserved such a valuable resource. Indeed, Islamic scholars later translated and preserved many Greek and Roman texts, contributing significantly to the transmission of knowledge to Europe during the Middle Ages. The destruction of the library by Arabs simply doesn't fit the historical record. The most plausible explanation for the library's demise is a gradual decline over centuries. Factors such as political instability, economic hardship, and a shift in intellectual centers likely contributed to its eventual disappearance, the narrator reflected philosophically. The library may have simply faded away as its resources dwindled and its importance diminished. Over time, scrolls would have been lost, damaged, or simply forgotten. Now, let's consider a possible link to biblical history. While there's no direct mention of the Library of Alexandria in the Bible, its existence coincided with a period of significant interaction between Jewish scholars and Hellenistic culture. The most important example is the Septuagint, the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible. Jewish scholars in Alexandria undertook this massive project, making the Hebrew scriptures accessible to a wider Greek-speaking audience. This translation was foundational for early Christianity. The Septuagint demonstrates the library's influence on both Jewish and early Christian thought. It provided a bridge between Hebrew tradition and Hellenistic philosophy, shaping theological discourse for centuries to come. Though the library had no impact on the core truths of the Bible, it served as the staging ground for cultural moments that impacted its transmission through history. The most significant example of this is how it hosted the translation of the Old Testament from Hebrew into Greek, without which Christianity as we know it would not have been able to spread. In conclusion, the destruction of the Library of Alexandria wasn't a single cataclysmic event, but rather a slow decline influenced by various factors. While fires and religious conflicts may have played a role, the library likely faded away due to neglect and changing historical circumstances. Its impact on the translation of the Bible, though indirect, highlights its importance as a center of learning and cultural exchange. This is Hidden Histories. Like, share, and subscribe for more biblical mysteries, ancient truths, and forbidden knowledge revealed daily.